So again, focus. Can you please tell everybody about how you heard about my mental health work and what made you want to work with me?
I had a couple of friends who were posting about you.
Shout out to your friends.
Shout out, you know who you are. And they were people who, I had grown up with in my early adulthood. And I realized we had a very similar background. We had a lot of the same traumas. We were raised in, immigrant family homes. And I've seen them thriving and doing a lot better than they had before. I've seen their posts, negative things that were happening around the world, and then I started all of a sudden seeing them post things that were bright and light and full of love. So really filmmaking goes.
True. The bloopers are going to be on fire. Okay, so I interrupted you because I had to adjust my life. But can you please tell them again how you found out about me and my services? I'm sorry.
I had two friends on social media that I'd grown up with in early adulthood, and they had been through similar struggles as me, similar background, family structure. They were from immigrant households, some from biracial households. So I seen them posting, in the past, really negative toned stuff. And then once I started seeing them post really positive stuff, I also seen them posting about you and how you helped. And I knew, that at least it was a start. I was surprised it wasn't just a start.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Power of word of mouth, really.
Yeah.
Shout out to those friends. You know who you are.
Shout out.
I think it's so beautiful when people that I work with are so open about it. I think like this. This is beautiful. We've been talking about doing this for a long time, and it's just amazing that it's here. Thank you so much. The back and forth, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for months. Oh.
Worth it.
She saw me have a whole wardrobe malfunction when she got here. She fixed this whole lighting situation. So shout out to you. You're amazing. What was your favorite part about our work together? We worked together for a year, right?
A little less, yeah.
Okay, I round things up, so it felt like a year.
Yeah, we rounded up to a year.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? Or do you, highlights, I guess?
Highlights, the first thing that comes to mind was something that I found that was the most beneficial.
Okay.
Actually, two things that I found most beneficial was it was the first time in my life that I felt valid and heard.
Okay.
Just to know I had someone there to support me.
There
were
you did.
There were things that you gave me the confidence and backed me that no one else would, that were paramount in my life to where I am today. And one thing that really stands out the most is just our first session. You told me to breathe deep before bed and when I woke up, and I remember I was so excited to tell you because almost immediately I stopped getting nausea and stomach aches.
Wow.
Yeah, from anxiety. So it was something I experienced since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
And my parents never really took me to a doctor. One time about it, they gave me Tums and they told me just tell her to chew this. It'll make her feel better.
This is why we need trauma-informed professionals, because maybe it's not Tums related. Maybe it's mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but your anxiety really, really got better in our work together.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, you even having anxiety about the workplace.
Yeah.
And there was workplace harassment that we worked through.
Oh, yeah.
And then you getting, comfortable again with going into a workplace. Remember, we started slow.
Yeah.
And this was actually, was it around the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So there was also that happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Shortly after, I got a really good job with a really good company.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell, like, already right there and then in the interview that this was a company I wanted to work for, because I seen and they weren't asking like weird questions like, do you have kids, and like, do you want to get married, those type of questions that I got a lot. So it helped me to identify like who's going to be a safe employer. I had that basis. I've been there almost 3 years now, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. Like, I didn't ever really think in my life I would be able to maintain a corporate job. Yeah. I didn't feel like I belonged in a corporate environment. I just didn't feel worthy.
That's so powerful, because you are worthy, but it's one thing to be told you're worthy, it's another to believe it.
Yeah.
And in our work, I think in the beginning when I used to compliment you, it would like deflect off of you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let it. But now you let it. Isn't she so pretty?
Oh, thank you.
See, she's taking it in. But no, for real though, you are inside and out, and I'm really proud of you. Tell me about the ice skating that you're doing now. She's like a whole figure skater out here on these streets. She does flips and tricks, but this is new. This is not even something we worked on. This is something that, I mean, the healing journey doesn't end with me, right? I'm just honored to be a part of it. But this isn't even something we talked about, and now you're here being a whole figure skater.
Aww.
So would you like to tell us about like, how you found your way back to that? Because that's inner child healing.
Yeah. Yeah. Around the time that my parents got divorced, I was like really overwhelmed with everything. And now looking back, I noticed that all my like art electorals I stopped picking them, and I started picking like business or scholarly electives in school. And that's kind of my dad's influence, really. And I also didn't have the self-worth to maintain myself when I didn't get gold at a competition. So I felt like if I didn't get gold, I wasn't worthy. And I had such an imposter syndrome. Like, I never looked at myself as a real figure skater. And I had been trained for 3 years by this point.
Wow.
Yeah, I was skating 5 days a week at this point, and I wouldn't even consider myself a figure skater. Yeah. And then, going back to it, it just sparked a joy in my heart, because before that, every time I would drive past a rink, my heart would hurt. And then I went back and I did just a couple days or couple weeks, and already started feeling better and excited towards it. And my demeanor towards figure skating changed again from pain to like pleasure.
I love that.
Yeah.
So was it just one day you're just like, today's the day?
Yeah. And it wasn't even intentional, and I didn't even think I'd really pick it up again as a hobby. But now I skate like 3 times a week, and
you're good at it.
Thank you.
She's really good at it. And she's one of the very few in our city that actually doesn't like when the winter goes away, because she likes the fact that she has more rinks to skate in.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about inner child healing. This is obviously one of them.
Yeah.
What other ways did you heal your inner child through our work that you're continuing to do? We didn't prepare any of this, by the way, so this is actually really putting her on the spot.
Yeah, it's like a job interview, like, and presidential debate. No.
Do we need a lifeline? Just kidding.
A lot of spiritual abuse. I feel like you have a special touch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm firmly against spiritual and religious people. See, I can't even say it without taking a deep breath, because it pains me to no end, knowing that people use something that could be so beautiful and beneficial to harm. And it's in the majority of the people that I work with.
Yeah.
And I know that was a part of your story.
Huge.
Yeah. And we worked through that, and you found your way to breathe again.
Yeah.
Is that still something like that you are working through?
Not really.
Good.
I was gonna say, it's not something I really worked on after us. I feel like we must have resolved it pretty good. Yeah.
Yay. That makes me happy.
Yeah. You versed me so well. And, I felt like in life, like there was something behind the scenes that I didn't understand. And I didn't like it and I knew it was wrong. And you taught me leverage. It's
Yeah.
empowering, it's liberating. It's so weird because you could describe a behavior to somebody and it almost doesn't seem like valid abuse until you can name what type of abuse it is. And then it's
True.
like, boom, blatant right there.
Yeah.
And when it came to spiritual abuse, like we hit those topics hard, and I feel like you probably have you must have some experience. I feel like there's a lot of people out there, mental health professionals, that maybe aren't that well versed in things like that, and patriarchal and misogyny, and that was where I learned all of this to start.
Listen, that I just want to say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. This is how I feel about people who use religion and spirituality to harm. But yeah, it's I found it really alarming when I was studying cycles of abuse, and very seldom was religious abuse and spiritual abuse even on there.
Wow.
Even though we know how common it is, unfortunately, in so many communities. And so, yeah, that's why even after our work, I did my doctorates in this, because I was like, I need to continue learning, because it's so impactful. It could be really positive. It could be really positive. And part of our work as mental health professionals is bringing people hope and giving people hope in a future. But when you take the hope away and you tell people that there's a higher power that doesn't want them, what kind of hope can I really bring? You know what I mean? It makes it hard for that person to cultivate hope, because you've stripped them from that. And so it's so bad, and it's so under talked about. And I'm just really, really honored to do the work that I do, and I'm so happy that you trusted me and we worked through that. There were a lot of tears.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, but now she's smiling. Smiles a lot.
Congratulations on your doctoral.
Thank you. It was a lot of work. I did it through a really good supervisor, and she really worked with me, and I felt like for the first time in my entire academic history, mental health was actually acknowledged.
Wow.
And so working with her, she wasn't really rigid with me with my deadlines and stuff, and she understood that mental health can impact your academics. And we worked really well together. I'm really honored that I found her, and that's only just made me more of an advocate against spiritual and religious abuse. So, and I know we talked about that. We talked about how mental health isn't really even considered in the workplace, in schooling.
Yeah.
Do you feel like at work now you have more tools to navigate?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my company has really good benefits.
Oh, great.
Yeah, during COVID, they gave us $10,000 a year.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to your company.
Which was a blessing. I feel like 10 grand is a little excessive, but maybe some people have a different situation. 10 grand could be very valuable to them.
Yeah.
They do talk about it a lot. I mean, naturally, the nature of our work, emotional burnout, really injured, disabled for the rest of their life, So.
Vicarious trauma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's real. I definitely changed a lot of the things that I do, especially on the road. I can't cross the road without, something like that. So, long story short, I knew I was in the right place when I had that type of support.
I also just remembered that when we were working together, you had broken your ankle.
Oh yeah.
So on top of everything else, you unfortunately, you were bed rest or something. There was a lot of, I did see you get better. But so if you're out there and you have broken an ankle or something, there is hope. Okay, because when I started working with you, I just remembered you had crutches. I just remember that. And now she's figure skating. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
so
true. Jumping and everything.
Yeah. So if you know, if you're looking for some kind of inspiration that things will get better, you're looking at her.
They get better.
They do get better.
Physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yeah. Tell me about the tools that you're still using from the time that we worked together, if any. Hopefully there's some.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
3 years ago, so breath work.
Okay.
And mindfulness and cognitive. Those 3 I use on a daily basis. Yeah, those are like mandatory. I'd say.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's so interesting because when I first get people to start doing breath work, it's so unfamiliar, and they're like, what do you mean you want me to like think about breathing? And I'm like, because most of us don't breathe properly, hun. Like, that's just the reality. Most of us do shallow breathing, and then our brain doesn't get enough oxygen. That's just what it is. But I did notice that through our work together, I could totally see that your nervous system was more calm. Yeah. Because when you're breathing properly and you're taking better care of yourself, you're consciously shifting your nervous system from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic, and I saw that.
It was also all the self-care.
Oh yeah.
This is a funny one. You want to tell me? You want me to tell
You do it.
The thing is you work into it. Like, you don't like overwhelm us with new things to do. Yeah. It's a very, we take it one step at a time. Which is perfect.
It's gradual.
It's necessary. So a little later in, you're like, what do you do for self-care? And I was like, well, I do face masks. Yeah. And that was the only answer I could come up with. And then I learned about, I think, 8 different dimensions of self-care. And, I journaled all the different ways.
Yeah, journaling was a big one.
And now they've just all part of my life. So yeah, those are also things that I do, is the self-care every day.
You're still doing face masks?
Yeah.
Good.
Once a week, but
Good, because the skin looks good, honey. The skin is skinning. Amazing. Okay. What was the biggest takeaway from our work together? Again, this was not practiced.
I mean, that's a big question, because there was a lot. That life gets better.
Ooh! I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Life gets better. With tears in my eyes.
Amazing. Oh. Oh. It does get better. That's watching this, that is going through life right now. You're so pretty, even when you cry.
Oh.
Happy tears, happy tears.
Very happy tears.
Yeah, I'm not encouraging her to cry, but I mean, if it's going to be gratitude, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that's watching that is going through a tough time, do you have any words of advice for them?
I mean, it gets better, but, your pain is valid. Your suffering is valid. Even if you have privilege, your suffering, gratitude and suffering can exist in the same place at the same time.
Fact.
And that's something I feel like I'll forget.
Yeah. Both can happen at the same time, and they don't cancel each other out. I think a lot of people think that if you're finding time to train your body to think about the positives, then you're being immune to see the negatives. No, that's not true. But it's just really important for mindfulness work to constantly shift your nervous system from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. So from that like fight, flight, freeze to rest and digest. So once you're in the rest and digest, you have the happy tears, you have the relaxed body posture, the breathing is better. Like those are the things that come with it. And then there's a lot of unconscious stuff too, like the positive self-talk. Yeah. I've noticed that you've been kinder to yourself, even
so much kinder.
The audios you choose, the songs you choose, the captions you write, there's a shift.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, but it is a paradigm shift, and it happens. I feel like it happens early on. It can, and it just keeps building.
Yeah.
And it just keeps building, and once you're out of the deep end for a little while, like, you feel that. You feel safe in a comfortable, like, wading pool.
Amazing. Go back to the you that I first started talking to before we started working together. The you that was following me. The you that, was watching your friends do better, and post about me. That's so sweet. What would you say to you, that past you? You probably give her a hug first.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, big hug, and tell her it's gonna be okay.
It is gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
You have no way of understanding how it's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe it's gonna change, but that belief is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I would tell her, I love you.
I love you.
You're worthy, and
the happy tears.
I know, a lot of gratitude. Yeah, it's you can't palpate it with words.
Yeah. Thank you for being patient with the back and forth, with the failed attempt to book a space, to get a microphone, to lighting. There was just, sometimes life throws curveballs, and you've been patient for like a long time. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
And we're probably gonna bring her back, to be honest with you. I don't think this is the only time you come in here. Yeah. I think we're gonna do maybe more parts.
Yeah, we could. If y'all like this, let her know.
Yeah, let me know, because I want her back, because this is, we had a good like 20 minutes of bloopers, but once we got into it, I think we really got into it.
I think we nailed it.
Yeah, I think so too. Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up?
Hurt people hurt people.
Ooh.
Healed people heal people.
Ooh.
It's not your fault that you were hurt, but it's your responsibility to heal it.
Facts. Yeah, and it's your responsibility, because you deserve to not live a life that is embedded and laced with pain, truly, because a lot of people think that we do this healing work for others, but we really do it first and foremost for ourselves.
Yeah.
You deserve love and care and all the good stuff, and I'm so happy you said that, because it's so important. So important. Thank you. And she'll be back. I've already decided on your behalf that you'll be back. Okay, love you.
Love you.
Let's go get some pizza.
Love you.
Love you. We're gonna go get some pizza. Wish you were here. Okay, bye. Check out her socials below.